Hello everyone, and today my topic is The Fun They Had. It's written by Isaac Asimov, so it's a part of literature and I'm gonna cover it. Let's see what's the story about it. I have done some board work for you and some pictorial view that you can understand better. So this is the time for us when we are doing in the quarantine period the online classes, and this period is totally resembled with it as we are behaving like a mechanical teacher. So this is the time for us to go for future. Let's go to the year 2157. So count it, students, how many years we are covering through it. Actually this time is resembling to us, and we will think about our past days, our fun days in this story. So you can see a girl sitting before a mechanical teacher. If we take our present time, that is 2020, and if we subtract it from 2157, it will be 137 years. So we are now in the 137 years later. So you should think about it, where we are, where that book is an ancient piece of thing. So if we are getting a book, so that is a museum based things. So it should be in a museum, not in our room, because we are so much accustomed with the online class with the mechanical teacher. So let's discuss about the characters in the story. We have the fun they had. Number 1, that is Tommy. Second, that is Margie. Third, Mrs. Jones. Number 4th, that is County Inspector. And 1, it is the mechanical teacher. And it also has a role in that story. But we will not think it as a person because it is not a human being. So yes, let's start it and we will see the fun, what kind of fun they are feeling now in this present. Maybe you are getting too much fun when you are sitting before your computer or your mobile phone and getting that online classes. Maybe it's new for you, but think about that. If it continues for so long time and it will be your future, so how it will be? Every time you have to sit before a computer, you have to upload the homework, as Margie is doing here, 11 years old girl taking the class of the mechanical teacher. So she doesn't have to go to the school, rather she doesn't know what is school, and she doesn't has that atmosphere where we gather together and we learn. So she sits before it and learn. Think about it, how boring it is. Does they have any fun? That is our question to reveal. Let's see. This slide shows us the analytical part or analysis of the title, that is the fun they had. Think that. Had, that means only resembling to the past. So that is used in the past tense. So being in future, someone is thinking about the old funny days, the fun they had. So they actually are not present in the present days of 2157, and they had some fun. So they are remembering those fun. So we are talking about the fun of the past, not at the present time. Maybe sitting before a computer is a fun, but it's not actually the fun we are getting now in our school. And I have also written that old funny days, which is not possible in the year 2157. Now let's see in the left bottom corner, that is Tommy, a 13-year-old boy. He has found a book, and that is so strange. He is very curious about it. What is a book? Because he is used to take the mechanical teacher's teaching and also his sister, but he hasn't seen that book any day. So most Surprisingly, he found a book, and obviously these books resemble to those past days. So he thought to ask his grandfather. So his grandfather also told him about his grandfather. So are you getting that timeline? So his grandfather is telling about his grandfather. So from his grandfather he came to know that this kind of things like books were used in his grandfather's grandfather days. So these books were for his the antique piece, and he had never seen it before. So by this book they used to read in the past days, as we are doing in the 2020. Still now maybe we'll be doing for 10 more years, but if we reach that 2157 as they have reached, as they are taking their time as present, so the book is for them is very old thing, and it is a thing only to be seen in the museum, not in their home. So they have found a very rare thing. It's strange, no? We are reading from book, and the book is the only source of our knowledge, and it's very strange to think about when our future days, our future generation will come. They will think about us that a book is an antique piece, and we sometimes used it for our knowledge. Let's see how curious he is and what his opinion about the book. Let's see in my next slide. The book for him is yellowish and a crinkle thing. Yellowish, that the pages were yellow by the time maybe, and crinkle obviously by the time it is folded. So it's for him, it's a yellow and crinkle thing, and by these words he has used here, it's very clear that he hasn't loved it, but he loved to find it very much, because he has found the antique thing, and he thought that how the human used to read from these yellow and crinkle things when they use these present days the television screen only, and where the books are called telebooks, where lines and letters are supposed to move. Do your pages or the lines or the words dance in your book? No, I think. But in the future days they have found their letters and the words are dancing on the screen because they are using the digital screen, not the book's pages. So our 13-year-old boy Tommy is very curious about the book. See that where we are reading those books for the knowledge, and someday someone will think about it as an age-old thing, and it's an antique piece, and they will laugh after us that what kind of things we used to use in our past days. As Tommy has got the idea of the book, he also wants to ask his grandfather where they used to read these books, in their home or somewhere else. So he's got his answer. And the answer was very much obvious. Yes, where we read in our school, no? So the school, it was a boring idea for them. They used to learn from their every teacher, from their every mechanical teacher, the individual mechanical teacher for them for every subjects, and they take care personally. But they didn't think about it, how some people gather together in a one classroom and they study together the same thing, whether they want to or didn't, but they have to go in a place for learning. They didn't get it very much. So similarly for them, school was also an age-old idea, just like the books, because first it came with the book, where book would be used in the past days, and school, that's the institution where these books are read, and by together they gather together, they learn together, and the same thing. They didn't get it very much, how they used to learn in those past days. So they were very bored about this idea of their grandfather's grandfather reading in those days. Means they are talking about in our days, we can think like 2020. So from where we are reading, we can think like that. So that will give us the particular timeline and to relate with the story. Now in this story, we will be seeing that Margie, who got an idea of a school from his brother Tommy and from his grandfather, that she hates the school when she heard about it, and the idea of the school she actually hates. And she clearly told that if in her times, if there is an institution like school, she never used to go there because she doesn't like it. The school where the personally take care is not possible. Everyone comes here for the study, for the learning with their books. That the thing where the on screen is not possible and letters are stupid standing in a one place. But if you think that our Margie is too much happy with the mechanical teacher, it's also not, because she is also disappointed with the tests of geography as she is getting poor marks. Now whose problem it is? Her problem? Maybe she is not doing well, that's why she is not performing well. So it is her fault maybe that she is not getting the class properly, or she can't handle the mechanical teacher. Whose problem it is, that we will reveal. But to sit in front of the mechanical teacher, that she also doesn't like. She doesn't wants to be a mechanical also. Sometimes she thinks about those past days. Also she is getting bored of the idea, but she loves to think about it. That we will see in the latter part. So as she has got the poor marks in the geography, then her mother called that county inspector to inspect about it. And rather she used to be beaten by her mother when she does like that, when she gets the poor mark. But the most disappointed part of Margie was that she hated the homework slot where she has to put the homework regular basis. She just hated these things to do it regularly. So the county inspector helped in a way by repairing the learning device. So the county inspector, the red-faced man, a little red-faced man who has a toolbox in his hand and wires also with the dials also. So he came and he inspected that mechanical teacher at first. So he found some faults in that mechanical teacher and confirmed that it was not Margie's fault. Margie was getting very good, but actually it was the fault of that mechanical teacher, which was giving that geography slots and geography learning process very quickly. So our county inspector made it clear and take it with the level of class or age 10. So as he confirmed it was the mechanical teacher's fault, so he told Margie's mother that it was not Margie's fault, but the level should be decreased as she was only 11 years old. So our county inspector made that for Margie, that he reduced that levels to 10, that she can learn it better and she can give the exam very clearly for his level only. So obviously he consoled Margie by giving an apple, as she was very anxious about that she was not getting that good marks. As the story will be continued for the next part, so we will see that Margie is not actually the poor girl, or she is not actually getting the poor marks for her study. It was the mechanical teacher's fault. So after repairing it, she will get the good marks and she will obviously will be appreciated by her mother. So on we will continue our story. So for that, as you have understood, we have read about the story's main parts. So read the story once again and relate with those as I have drawn for you for the better understanding, and also made that slides that you can take it as in ascending order, and you will get into this story more clearly. So goodbye today. Thanks for watching my video. We will be covering the next part of it. Obviously, the fun, we have to know what the fun actually they are thinking. So goodbye. Till then,